Happy Superhero Day. Give me 1 second. I'll get to the whole Superhero Day thing in a second, but I have to explain the day in the terms of study sequences for the IB exams. So today wasn't as productive as I wanted. There's a stink bug over there. Today wasn't as productive as I wanted it to be. It was kind of a mess in my opinion. However, I think near the end I landed on my feet. I guess the lesson that I really gathered was instead of focusing on the sequence of things, just focus on doing each one separately as its own contained event. Because I'll start something like, oh dang, how much time do I have left for this next one? Then the next one. I was being too rigid with my schedule, I guess, and that was kind of my inhibitor for the thing. Anyways, happy Superhero Day. I don't know, superheroes have largely been a big motivation for who I am and why I would pursue the things I do. I think they provided this inspiration as a young kid to always do the right thing, always be helpful, always go past your limits. Then as I grew older, they kind of pushed me into the realm of science, really. Because, okay, I'll talk about that. As a kid, right, always watching superheroes, the stuff I watched were mainly delved into science fiction. I was like, oh dang, that's cool, that's cool. And in Nigeria, when I was living in Nigeria, what happens is that sometimes they would take light and you wouldn't have much stuff to do because you couldn't watch TV, you couldn't really play games. So what we would do, my brothers and I, and my uncle, who was near our age, we would basically create our own superhero universe. And then we would act out like our own movie, we create our own storylines, our own movies. And that was our way of engaging with fun while the light was gone. And it just extended. So even sometimes when the light did come back, we just stick with the superhero universe thing. And this extended to my Legos as well. I still do remember some characters. Like we had the Spark universe, and it was crazy. And we had like a whole database for all the characters and everything, their powers, their weaknesses, their affiliations. Anyways, when I was creating those superheroes, at least mine, right, I would always want them to be the best they could be and make the most sense. So I would always do research for those characters, like, oh, what animal should Tarzan be able to turn into? What's the coolest animal? What's like the deepest animal in the ocean? All that type of stuff. And then if I was creating a speedster, I was like, oh, how fast? What type of armor or what type of suit would he have to wear? And if I was dealing with cosmic characters, I'll start researching about like supernovas, how galaxies work, how gravity, all that stuff work. Because I kind of wanted to make my characters OP in this, so I want to know what the limitations of their powers would be. So I remember I had one of these characters called Shockwave. So I would always just up how electricity could work and try and figure out how to deal with his powers. And I think my favorite one was, I don't know if this was for a character per se, but I remember there was one time I was like maybe 10 or so. I was designing my own Iron Man suit because I was like, yeah, I think it was just an outside thing, but I was designing my own Iron Man suit because I had like one of those Guinness World Record books or whatever. And I was trying to figure out what was the best like material, what power strips should I use. I think I ended up landing on plutonium or something like that. It was a very fun time. But the general idea was that was what kind of pushed me into the realm of science, and that's what made me so fascinated with all these cool stuff. And now I'm more of a computer science guy, and I really don't regret how it turned out. I don't know, I'm just really happy that superheroes pushed my love for science fiction, and science fiction pushed my love for science. And it's been awesome living a life like that. I think even more so, I'm more grateful for those who gave me an outlet to superheroes. From the Flash TV show, which was amazing. The latest seasons weren't as good as I wanted, but the first like couple of seasons were amazing. I do think the characters they add in later seasons are really good. I think people hate on them too much, but I personally like them. Anyways, I also want to give not a shout out, but I also just want to like thank Comic Store and Comics Explained, because in Nigeria I didn't have access to comic books like that, like as you would in let's say America, right? So then my ways of exploring those characters and keeping up to date with what's going on was through Comic Store and Comics Explained, which were basically YouTube channels that basically talked about basically would tell the stories of different comic books, and they'll keep you updated with current events and stuff like that. I think to this day I still watch them sometimes, and I don't know, that just made me really happy as a kid to have a way to still connect with those, even if I was far away. I think since the superhero days, I think they're one of the people who I would recognize as superheroes, because they basically allowed me to keep a connection that I wouldn't be able to do otherwise. So I'm really grateful for that. But yeah, happy Superhero Day. I think it's been really amazing having superheroes as a big influence in my life. And I kind of hope so that this project, in a sense, can serve as a superhero to someone else. Because I think superheroes have one job to save and another job to inspire. So I hope this project inspires and saves if that works in some way. But anyways, happy superhero day and have a great day.